If you're still wearing these in 2025, they're instantly dating your outfit, which is absolutely not what we want for you. Take this advice very seriously. One thing we are leaving behind, hopefully forever, are these extreme cutouts. They're usually seen and often seen too many times with tops, dresses, and sometimes even pants. The whole reason these became into popularity and mainstream is that they give a little bit of a cleavage outside of your collarbones and your décolletage. They might show your tummy off, they might show your hips, they might show some side boob, a shoulder, whatever. But things became a little too whack and just very impractical, honestly borderline trashy. What you need to pay forward for the rest of the year and the next year to come are these beautiful Peter Pan collars. There's so many out here, from Taylor Swift cottagecore vibes to sleek modern aesthetics. The focus is in the collar. Now this collar is definitely not anything that could be as provocative as those cutouts can be. You're not going to get cold wearing them. In fact, they're going to add some warmth, especially in the fall and winter. And they're basically a necklace around your neck without having to wear a necklace. These are show-stopping. They come in lots of different varieties, different thicknesses. Some have frills, some have embellishments. Just please get rid of the cutouts. This next one you may hate me for, and that's perfectly okay, but it is not just me. The fashion community as a whole is really trying their best to get away from these, and they really even did it last year with putting a lot of focus on the skinny jeans, and that is baggy jeans. Because baggy jeans, while very comfortable and very appropriate in the COVID era, does nothing for your shape. More importantly, they look lazy. Baggy jeans, and we're talking baggy, I'm not talking wide leg, I'm talking baggy on baggy. These jeans were great because you could sleep in them, you could roll off into class, you could go into your Zoom meeting with them, you could literally wear them on repeat for a week, and unless you had ketchup stains, no one would know. But if you're trying to look more put together, sophisticated, taller, and just do anything you can for your body shape, these are going to make you look shorter, frumpier, and as of now, outdated. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna stick with jeans because jeans are a closet essential, but we are focusing on bootleg and flared jeans. Not excessively flared because some of those look like horse hooves. We're focusing on the subtle boot cut and, sister to that, the flare. These do amazing things for every woman's body shape. They give you nice curves, and no, they do not make you look like a frumpy mess. Whether you have lots of curves or you're as rectangle as they can get, pointing at myself, these give the illusion of shape, and if you do have curves, they highlight them even more. There are so many affordable options, from Old Navy to higher ends like Mother Jeans, depending what brand you like and depending what you want to spend, or if you're just trying to get your foot in the door and try something other than baggy jeans, there's so many options for you to try. Now we're on to number 3, which also may get some heat, but that's okay, is oversized blazers. We're talking like XL men's version on a size small woman's body. It does not look good. We're piggybacking off of the baggy jeans. These look sloppy. They look like you didn't try. And God forbid you put these with oversized pants. It is the worst thing you can do. It looks funky, and no, it's not doing you any favors. Entering the chat are trench coats. These have been around for years and years and years for good reason. You can tighten them up, give yourself a little nice hourglass shape. There's lots of utility and hardware bits to it, but even more importantly, we have a new girl this season, which is the cropped trench coat. So if you don't like having a tail down you, this is especially good if you're a little bit more on the petite side, and perfect to wear even in the warmer months because it's not as warm and weather protectant as the long version. But either way you go, you are going to look classy, you're gonna look like Kate Middleton, you're gonna look like you just stepped out of a Burberry ad. Very sophisticated and much more put together than these oversized street style looks. Love Billie Eilish, but as far as those looks go, we need to avoid them. Now, unfortunately, this one does kind of stink, and I unfortunately also dug myself in a really deep hole with these because they were very expensive, and even though I loved them at the time, we have evolved into better alternatives. That gets us to Nike Jordans. These are so out, which is hard because some of these retailed for thousands of dollars, which is painful when you come into the point of wanting to resell them. But anyway, get them out of your closet. Honestly, even if you have kids, get them off their feet. They're not cute. They stunt your growth as well. They cut off your ankles. They're in too many wide variations and designs. If you have a normal, like neutral type of color, you may get by a little bit longer with these, but for the most part, get rid of them. Focus on classic multi-use sneakers, such as the Adidas Sambas, Gazelle, and newly launched Low Pros. These come in a lot safer color variations and will go with every single outfit you can imagine other than a cocktail dress. We are not wearing sneakers with cocktail dresses, so don't even think about it. Give you that European it girl look. They do not scream clown. Plus, they are awfully comfortable and are very affordable. So I'm not asking you to spend thousands of dollars on designer sneakers, although I maybe should have added that into this video because that's another no, but gives us a preview into a future one. Really easy to do, guys. Looks good on every single age group, so it's not something that you're like, hey, I'm not 15, I can't wear this. Yes, you can. Now we're gonna touch on some jewelry. Out are these multi-layered necklaces and earrings. You do not need to be wearing 10, 8, 6 earrings on your ear or neck area at a time. Not only did these get overly tangly and just obnoxious to put on every day, they also would catch in your ear. Furthermore, you do not need to spend money on so many different jewelry items. Find some classic pieces you really like. And no, don't decorate your neck or ear like a Christmas tree. Nowadays, it doesn't look insanely dated, but it doesn't match with the current times. Nowadays, we're not doing these super slinky jewelry items. We're doing stuff with a little bit more weight mixed in. Bottega is really popular with this, with coming out some things like jewelry and earrings and necklaces that have a little bit more weight to them without being overly chunky, because chunky is also not the vibe. Also reduces any frustrations getting dressed in the morning because you're just gonna have a couple pieces to choose from. 1 to 2 necklaces, 1 to 2 earrings, you can do 2 holes, whatever you want, but we're not stacking the deck. It's important to talk about athleisure wear and lounge wear because I know we want to be comfy. That being said, we are getting rid of joggers. This is also something that was very popular COVID era and entering into new fashion styles. Rid of your joggers. This matches hand in hand with Jordan sneakers. We are going for straight and wide leg styles. Alo Yoga has their version of this, but they're also really good 2-piece sets off of Amazon that are super comfortable and mimic Skims. You can still have a 2-piece athletic athleisure sweatpant outfit, but you are going to look more streamlined and available for a Pinterest ad rather than hitting up the weights at your local gym. Moving on to number 7 are Monogram handbags. A classic Louis Vuitton monogram handbag is always going to be in style, but the way the attention is going now is nothing flashy. That was my dog. There is a reason why old money, although it gets repetitive, I know, the last couple years has been in your face. It's because subtlety speaks louder than logos. Ditch the ones that are full of graffiti and way too many logos. They are asking for attention, which you guys do not need. These rectangular bowling bags are everywhere. They also make a lot more sense because you can still hold a lot in them. We're not doing those micro bags anymore, thank goodness. handbags, but they're still in that medium-sized handbag, so they're not overly obnoxious necessarily like a tote bag can be, and you know, super tiny where you can only fit Tic Tacs in. This will be a handbag that will be around for a while, so get a neutral color by default because it'll carry you around every single season the next several years. And while it doesn't scream designer, although you can certainly spend a designer price on one, look like you spend good money on a good quality handbag while making your outfit look super snatched. I'm gonna talk about some prints. When you're getting into fabric and textures and prints, it can get a little wild. We're gonna keep this simple and say we are out with shimmery sequin pieces. It's one thing if you're going to a themed party, a Halloween party, New Year's Eve, then yes, look into getting sequins and glitter and shimmer and everything else because that is very much appropriate. But for everyday wear, it looks really wonky. Looks like you had nothing else to wear. It was laundry day, and so you had to pick up a club outfit from 2010 and stick it on because nothing else smelled good and was clean. I don't want that for you, so get rid of the shimmery disco ball type of stuff. Insert stripes into your wardrobe. These stripes on the thin to medium side, they really help add some contrast and interest to otherwise somewhat boring outfits. The nautical look and aesthetic has been getting more attention recently, and let's just take a minute to think about why. Nautical lines up with Hamptons, lines up with old money, which lines up with classic fashion. Not dated, not going anywhere. An easy way on any end of the spectrum to add more interest and novelty to your outfits rather relying on flashy pieces of clothing. We all know fashion trends come and go, and one thing that was fairly popular and needs to really go because it makes your feet look like Tough Girl, Cadet Kelly, Punk Club, buckled ballet flats. Honestly guys, I ordered a pair. They are not very comfortable, so they're also just not very practical. And while ballet flats are still very much in style, although maybe not the best come wintertime, loafers are where it's at. Another very easy shoe to wear at all times of the year. And while you may see a lot of girls sporting these with screw socks, get that that's not everybody's cup of tea. You do not need to do that. But what's great about the loafer is they are an elevated version of a casual shoe, meaning you do not have to resort to sandals, sneakers, or Uggs to be comfortable and stylish. Loafers offer a masculine vibe to your outfits, instant elevation, which is something you would normally hear about with heels, for instance, but these do not have to have a heel if you don't want to. While there are variations, if you want to add some height and maybe you're self-conscious about how short you are or how tall you are, you can go any end of the spectrum. But key thing, do not go for the super chunky soles. Moving on to number 10, we have the preppy pleated mini skirt. Not a good idea. If you're in Catholic school and this is your school requirement, I mean, I'm not gonna get you in trouble or expelled, but for any other person on the face of the earth, do not wear these. While they're fun and they're flirty, we can upgrade in the simplest way. Midi skirts, not maxi, not mini, and definitely not these micro mini skirts that have been around. Of satin skirts, silk skirts, wool skirts, linen skirts come summer. These are much more chic, intentional, and absolutely do not look like you're trying too hard. You can layer these up in the colder months. You can bear it out with a basic tank top and pretend you're in the south of France. Promise you're actually gonna have more options with these skirts than you were gonna have with the preppy one. Another fabric print that we need to drill into our heads is these funky animal prints. They have no room in your closet unless you're going as Fred Flintstone for Halloween, but I doubt you guys are. So, you know, we won't even go down that route. People have the audacity of wearing these to fitness classes at the gym. Do not take your gym selfie in these. That does not mean you have to get rid of animal prints, because the one that will always be around and you need to focus on is leopard prints. Now I get not everybody is into animal prints, so this is not one that you have to insert into your capsule wardrobe should you not like them, but leopard print is a neutral. It is always seen on the runway year after year. And not that I'm telling you guys to wear runway looks, but these don't scream for attention unless you're going for Lisa Frank style. Sometimes you just want to have fun with fashion, and leopard print is really the easiest subdued way to do that. If you're scared to put leopard print on your body, you can also do it in the form of a pump heel, a handbag, a scarf. You do have options here, but do not get those leopard print jeans. While I do see younger people still wearing these, and even I myself do, there is a spectrum when it comes to top lengths. Crop tops as a whole are going out the door. It doesn't even matter if you're 12, you're 20, you're 60, you're 40, you're pregnant, you got a super hot supermodel body. Getting kind of boring and not so cute anymore, especially the really, really short micro ones. Now, if you even go into any popular retailers like Zara, H&M, Nordstrom, etc., 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 we are trying to tone it down and also lower the hemlines. We're just going for a more ladylike approach. This means hemlines that are stopping at your hip line and even slightly below. If you are going to opt for a crop top and you're just like, I'm not getting rid of these, I love them, pair them with a high waist. The worst thing you can do is wear a crop top at rib cage length or above, and then pair it with something that's low rise. No, 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 we are not in a Britney Spears music video, and I know you guys are trying to look your very best and not like you're about to have a snake around your neck. So this is perhaps actually the easiest thing to do, because as I said, crop tops are actually just really hard to find. So take the ones that are in your closet and, you know, figure out some kind of use for it. One thing that is sometimes overlooked is the shape of a shoe. There have been some really funky, like, camel toe shoes. Really hope none of you guys ever bought those. Total waste of money and bad investment. But that does get us into the next one, which is the square toe. These seem to pop in and out year after year, and I don't really understand why, other than the fashion world always has to come up with something new and get rid of something at the same time. And so they thought, oh, well, you know, we've been doing pointed and rounded toes for a while, so why don't we just cut it off and do a square toe? But nobody understands that square toes look hideous on your feet. Make your feet look 2 sizes smaller than they are. Fashion, as you probably know, many things are about illusions. So long and elegant, at least the illusion of it, is really where your headlights need to be driving into. Focus on pointed toes. This does not mean you have to buy a pair of $900 Louboutins, many shoe options other than sneakers, because that would be completely whack. Pointed toes really do give that ladylike elegance, much more fashionable, and will take any outfit you have, even a basic tee and jeans, up several notches. Plus, there is a little bit of a sex appeal to them, so, you know, this one is more when it comes to above the shoulder, but this time we are not talking about jewelry. We're talking about the wolf haircuts. I don't know if these were made popular by Miley Cyrus or someone else, but the hair community got bored and just thought, we're gonna slash this and slash that and slash that and call it a wolf cut. If you want to do something else than a one length simple cut all American style, get some wispy layers. This doesn't even mean you have to get bangs, but if you look at these very posh hairstyles nowadays that are like super sleeky and stylish, they are following this suit. You can obviously go somewhat more dramatic, you can have more layers. They're also much more easy to style to maintain and take care of. I don't even know how people style the wolf cuts. This is where simplicity makes life way easier, but makes you look 1,000 times better. This one should go without saying because, well, other than the Barbie movie, because she kind of brought it back for a few months, but neon is a definite no at any time of the year. In all situations, at all times of the year. Neon is so bright and really doesn't match with anything else other than white, black, and more neon. Nothing stylish about neon. So what you're going to do is insert more earthy tones. I'm not saying you have to be a beige mom blogger. I'm definitely not saying you have to mimic yourself off of Kim Kardashian, but please get rid of these in-your-face neon signs that you're wearing. Look to browns, beige, blacks, gray, olive, and navy. These are very transactional with many pieces, so you can go full monochrome, you can mix and match. The nice thing with earthy tones is that they're neutral colors, so you don't have to think a lot when you're putting an outfit together. Without a doubt, look a lot more elevated for everyone than wearing a highlighter on your body. Fashion is meant to evolve with you, not keep you stuck in the past. These swaps are super simple to incorporate while keeping your style fresh, current, and of the moment. If you liked this video and want to see more, I have more fashion and beauty advice on my channel you can definitely check out. But with that, I will see you next time. Bye!